So SHPE is a national organization that aims to empower Hispanics in STEM, but its purpose in Binghamton is to create a community on campus, not just for Hispanics, but anyone that is in love and does support the Hispanic community. We do all sorts of events that just unites us as a family, and that is our biggest tagline, that we are familia, and we accept anyone as such as long as they do care for us, we'll care for them.
So whether it's through academic development, professional development, as well as like technical skills, we try to do all of that to help our members.
And I feel like we do a lot of different types of events. We focus on like professional development, but also have a lot of cultural and like social events to get to know all the members of the club.
And maybe on a less formal note, we kind of serve campus as just basically a safe space for any Hispanics, because we're not limited to just STEM. Like, there are plenty of people who come around to our events just to have a place, have a home away from home type of thing.
So as president of SHPE, I make sure that the club itself is going in the direction that SHPE Nationals wants us to go into. SHPE Nationals does host an annual national convention for all members to go to, and one of my biggest priorities for organization is to make sure that we have enough funds and we have enough students that are interested, that are given the opportunity to go in and come in with the best of their abilities to sell themselves and get the internship and get the job that they want, as well as meeting new members across the nation and meeting new recruiters as well and new companies that they have not heard of before. But when it comes to more internal stuff, I make sure that everyone is comfortable in what they're doing. We do have 12 positions on our e-board. That does not even include our graduate advisors that come in and advise us with whatever we need and whatever issues that we can't really tackle. They're there for their input, but everyone has their own tasks to do, and it does get overwhelming for everyone. So it is important to go over what they have to do and what they could do, and it really brings a cohesive environment where everyone can just work together and know that just because they're labeled as treasurer, they're not the only ones dealing with the budget. They can ask for help. And that's the biggest thing that I help enforce as president, is that you're not alone. You can always ask for help.
So I'm currently the vice president, so I kind of oversee a lot of like the different positions and kind of make sure like everyone's on track, making sure things get done, while also supporting everyone on e-board. So if anyone has like any problems or anything, they usually just like come to me, and like I help like address that as well.
So I'm the secretary. I send out the weekly emails to all of our members on our listserv. I also keep track of all the emails that come to our organization email, so I forward them to specific positions on the e-board. So if there's like a collaboration, I'll forward that to our campus outreach chair. And then recently I also worked on an alumni newsletter to send that out to them and hopefully get them more involved in our club.
My position as treasurer is maybe a little bit more self-explanatory. Anything that has money, anything green and red numbers, that's basically me. Helping people budget for their events, making sure we're spending the right amounts so we have more money for later, things like that, and just general strategy behind our decision making when it comes to money.
I was trying to like get involved and try to meet different, I guess like people like within my major and other majors as well, especially like being like Hispanic and in engineering. There's not a lot of us, so being able to find like that sense of community on campus.
I joined SHPE right in my freshman year, and it showed me a sense of community that I didn't really know I needed. Binghamton does an amazing job creating a community for you and creating a sense of environment that you belong. However, with SHPE, there's always some nuances that you feel like you're missing. SHPE kind of gave me that empty little hole that I had coming into Binghamton, and that was a sense of family. When you leave home, you're leaving your culture, you're leaving all your traditions. And when you come to Binghamton, or any university for that matter, it's up to you to make sure that culture stays with you, that tradition stays with you. And sometimes it is difficult. Some people don't have those same cultures. It is difficult to teach someone else your culture, but SHPE is there to make sure that your culture is staying intact and you can be who you are and be what you want to be.
So I definitely think it's important, especially because I feel like sometimes like in our classes we might not necessarily get all the support we need. So I feel like having like an outside organization that's like gonna help you like specifically prepare like either for resumes, like LinkedIn, like networking. Like sometimes we even have like events with specific companies. I feel like that's some sort of benefit that you get outside of your classes, and also like just like the support you receive, not just from like the executive board, but from like the other members in the organization. Like it's really important to have that support, especially because there is such a small amount of people that come from these backgrounds that pursue higher education, and we just want to make sure that that keeps increasing.
I think it's important to have an organization like that on campus, because not only do you, it is like a home away from home for a lot of people, but not only do you like bring those customs that you have from your household to campus, but you're also teaching other people about it. And I think it's just important to really immerse yourself in different cultures on campus and really be open-minded about like the traditions that other people have. So I think not just Hispanic organizations, but just different types of organizations on campus like Binghamton has already is really good to kind of like know more about different types of people and learn and appreciate different cultures.
I think it's really a great system for role models who are Hispanic in STEM, because oftentimes, you know, you'll go over Hispanics in STEM in class, they might be glossed over, or their legacy might be kind of underappreciated in some sense. There are computer scientists out there who are Hispanics, and their goal or their legacy has been reduced to like, oh, they did this one thing, when really like their research was really impactful and was really like, you know, the proto version of whatever like amazing things we have today.
Day-to-day is really, really tough with SHPE because we do tackle so many different aspects of our organization. But what an average SHPE member can look forward to in our events are some things that are more social, more cultural. Those are events where we invite them, we talk, we share, we give them an open platform where they can say what they feel and say what their culture is, what their background is. And that just gives them a sense of like welcoming, warming. We also have stuff that's more professional where we sit down with them, we ask for their resume, we ask for their cover letter, we ask for their headshots or their LinkedIn. If they don't have it, we're there to help them make it, help them construct it. Then there's stuff that's more technical. We host events that are more engineering based that usually, sometimes they won't even tackle in their classes. We have a soldering workshop where they learn to solder circuits. We have an active go-kart project that we're working on where some of them will have hands-on experience unless they go into the lab or go into SHPE and have that opportunity to make those changes with a car that who knew that they might or may not be interested in. And we also do stuff that is professional. Oh, educational. There we go, academic. So we do study halls where a lot of times it's hard to study in Bartle by yourself, or if you do get a group of friends, you sometimes fool around. We have an open environment where we open a study hall. And it is quiet in there, but there's snacks, there's coffee, there's music, and because everyone there is generally from the same major or something similar, there's always someone to ask. Especially it's encouraging for younger underclassmen because if you're a freshman in computer science, we have seniors in computer science. They've been in that same boat, they know how to answer your questions.
I think there are really like three main topics, and that tends to be kind of like technical professional, social and cultural events. Cultural events might be more like celebrating one particular piece of Hispanic culture. So for example, last year the SHPE interns put on an event that we made like mini piñatas and put candy in them and stuff like that. We've had soldering workshops in the past and LinkedIn and resume building workshops in preparation for our national convention. And more along the social side, recently we've had speed friending as a GIM to get everybody to kind of know each other, and then like a puzzle making competition, which putting engineers in the competition is definitely something fun, but it was a great experience to be able to go around and see new faces and, you know, just get to know new people.
There's a lot of opportunities that come with like being a part of the organization, not just like socially and culturally, but also like professionally. Being able to develop yourself professionally, I think, is really important, especially coming into college where you're not really sure about how to like structure your resume or structure LinkedIn. I think there's a lot of opportunities to grow professionally, and that also allows you to grow socially and like as an individual, because you get to like make connections within the org and also outside of the organization. You'll see like familiar faces in your classes, and also like outside of the organization you can like meet up with friends from SHPE, and I think it's a very welcoming environment, like overall, because not just in our events but outside of that too, there's a lot of opportunity for growth.
But like when you walk in, like expect to like feel welcome, because you expect for at least like maybe 2-3 e-board members to like go up to you and be like, oh, what's your name, what's your major, and just like asking you just like general questions like about you, like generally try and like get to know you. And I feel like that's something like we really try to like emphasize, getting to know like not only like our members but like the community, the people at Binghamton, and just trying to like form that connection. And besides that, like also be expected to be welcomed by food. We usually always have food.
I think in terms of big events, definitely our biggest that we try to send as many people on is our national convention every year. Binghamton SHPE is just a chapter of a national organization, and that national organization puts on a national convention, which is, there's research people going there, there's a job fair, and tons of career opportunities to either go develop or just go for jobs and internships yourself and try and get recruited. So I think that's easily our biggest event. We try to fully fund as many people as possible. Last year we were able to fully fund pretty much everybody that went. And yeah, no, it's just a great opportunity to develop yourself, and to go experience other cities. This year was in Salt Lake City, Utah. Last year was in Charlotte, and it was just a great experience.
We do have a women in STEM panel, and that was something that we first did 2 years ago, which was one of my favorite events of all time, because we got women in different stages of their lives. So we got someone that was an undergrad, a grad student, an early professor, and a late professor, but a coordinator in Binghamton. And hearing perspectives from all 4 different stages of your career is so empowering as well. And there's something that even took away from it too, that one panelist spoke about how you can't let someone tell you who to be or how to act. You should treat yourself as like you're right, unless it's something that's like, oh, okay, that's something that we shouldn't tackle, but you shouldn't let yourself be demeaning or demised. I think that's the right word. But it's stuff like that, and we had such a wide audience that they weren't average SHPE members, and that was okay, because this wasn't a SHPE event. This was our Women in STEM panel. We were highlighting women in STEM for our Women's History Month.
Yeah, so next year the conference will be in Anaheim, California. So it's going to be SHPE's 50th year as like a national organization. So we want to try to send as many people as we can next year. We also have like a smaller version of a conference, which is like a regional leadership development conference. So the one we're going to is specifically in April, which is going to be in Miami. And there's just going to be a lot of like big like workshops and stuff like that, and also like a lot of representatives from like different companies that are organizing that. But just some other things that we have like planned for the semester is that we're making a go-kart. We're gonna have like a rocket competition.
Just sending people to as many opportunities as we can, primarily the Regional Leadership Development Conference and the National Convention, just so, about really developing our members, making sure our members are making the most of their time, not only in college, but outside of college, off campus, being able to take control of your own life, take control of your own career, and burst forward, and really just expanding our development as much as we can. And I think maybe a reasonable goal is just maintaining that atmosphere of community and being able to keep welcoming as many people as possible, because everybody is welcome at our events, and everybody's welcome to take advantage of your career, take advantage of your time on campus, and go through life with SHPE.
I think personally, I would hope to see that, I would hope that the organization continues that community family aspect, because it's one of the things that kept me as a member of the organization, and now holding a leadership position for a club that I'm very passionate about and love being a part of. I think that's one of the biggest aspects of it that I'd like to see continue.
I guess like future goals is just kind of just trying to expand the organization, trying to get more people involved. I definitely want to work more towards getting more people to like the convention and conference, just because I know it's like can be a large expense, but as an organization we try to do our best to send as many people as possible, whether it's through like fundraising, applying to grants, reaching out to corporate sponsors, because it's such a great opportunity. Like so many of our members have gotten either like internships or interviews or even full-time jobs from it, so definitely trying to help our members succeed in any way we can.
It's something incredible that we created from the COVID year where it was just 4 or 5 people on Zoom to a room full of 40 kids. It's incredible to see how much it's grown, and I really hope that even if we don't increase in numbers, I hope we increase in a bond, and I hope that everyone that's in it feels comfortable enough to be themselves and trust in one another and not just feel like it's another org on campus. It's somewhere where they can be safe, they can express themselves, and they can grow as not just a student, but as a future engineer, future scientist, future whatever path they choose to take.
I guess just like a big thing is like sometimes people hear SHPE and they think like you have to be Hispanic or an engineer to be involved, but you don't have to be either of those things to come to our events. It's not really like you have to be like committed. You can come and choose like whichever events like are interesting to you. Like you can come and like visit and attend.
Yeah, and I think fun is not limited to just one person, type of person, anything like that. We're here to have fun just as much as we're here to develop. And as long as you want to develop, as long as you want to have fun too, you're welcome to come to our events. And anybody can come along and join for the ride.